In the headlines.
Social media influencer has become a market that most youths are embracing. Plus the growth of food crop production in the homes of Kenyans. The Germans have done it again. A new mosquito trap that works effectively. And finally, the polar vortex in America as a result of climate change. Hello and welcome live from CR7 TV. I am Marian Jambi and we welcome our viewers in Kenya and around the world. We are with you for the next 30 minutes. Thank you for joining us. This is the Connective Room. You can join the conversation on our social media handles on Twitter at The Connective Room and the hashtag The Connective Room. The emergence of social media has somehow made this world a better place, from enabling us to have fast and efficient communication from everywhere in the world to creating a job market for those with access to the internet. Out of this, the youth in Kenya have realized that there is such a thing as a social media influencer. Social media influencer has become a term widely used by the youth today that can describe their occupation if asked. When you click on a user's profile on any social media, you are likely to come across the term media influencer on their bio. This seems to be the niche that the youth are in today to make the money out of it. It appears that majority of these social media influencers have a huge following on their various social media accounts. Some even manage to make a business out of selling their accounts due to a huge following to the highest bidder. Sierra 7's Chimea Omara has the latest.
In a world where the job markets are saturated, the youth are trying to come up with ways in which they can make some money for themselves, hence looking for an open, untapped source of income to make ends meet. On the discovery that one can earn if they have a huge number of followers on their social media account, gave the youth motivation to join social media and try their best to get people to follow their pages by posting content that can attract and captivate an audience. Steve, a popular social media influencer, has been in the market for a while and making a living off of it.
Depends with your work experience. Like, should be doing it for some time. If you'll be doing it for like 6 months or a year, now the people you're working for will start paying you. So if you have more clients, that's more money streaming in for you. So you can use it as a source of income, but not your main source of income.
To earn their money, social media influencers are paid to advertise a brand, to hype an event, and even to sell products or services to their followers. One reputation of success in achieving their targets also makes them more popular among other social media and also companies that may be interested in seeking their services.
Personally, as a social media influencer, I don't think you can depend on that area as your main source of income. But it's good as a side hustle because you get a lot of money. The reason why I'm saying you can't depend on it as your main source of income, it's usually a form of contract that you have done with someone else, and contracts usually come to an end.
Over the years, social media has brought with it many earning opportunities for the youth, which includes being a social media influencer. It has worked for some and more people are looking to attain this title. One may think that it is easy, but hard work is needed and commitment. The youth appear to be making good money out of it and many other benefits associated with this line of work. Chimea Omara, CR7 TV.
Well, I don't think they make enough money because it depends. Sometimes you can get good money, sometimes you can get nothing. So I feel like the money is not consistent because sometimes, the, what are they called, sponsors or companies that help them brand themselves, sometimes they do not need their services. So you find that someone necessarily doesn't have income for that, let's say, month or that week.
Yeah, why not? Anaweza, because kama mtu ndio inampatia food kwa table, mbona asidepend on it? Kama wewe ni influencer wa, let's say, just to mention a few, mbona isikupatie food kwa meza? And the better you do it, you'll get more. So why not make it your source of income?
While we are on the topic of social media influencers, I am joined in studio by Mr. Duncan, a social media manager. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Emerging markets can become trendy and get picked up very fast by people. Is this the same case that happened when being a social media influencer hit the markets?
Actually, contrary. I think now it's because the market has become almost so saturated that everyone feels like it picked up really quickly. But social media influencers and actually, let's actually just say like the vocation, the work of social media managers, influencers, so-called experts, took a while. Because if I go back, Twitter really urged it on. Instagram took it to another level together with Snapchat. But it took a while for, you can look at it this way. With blogs, I know friends who started blogs way back in 08 or 09. They weren't getting paid by companies or anything. Because you have to remember, social media sites are basically micro sites. So WordPress or wherever someone says that I'm a blogger, that's just a bigger site. But Twitter and the rest, it's the same thing. You share little thoughts and everything. Took a while to pick up actually, because now there's a whole course for it. When I was in uni, there was nothing to do social media. But in terms of emerging market, I think, how can I put it? It took a while to pick up because I can remember back in 2010, no one was really paying social media influencers. It was hard to tell a company like, yo, I use this product, I can convince or tell guys to use your product, have this much reach. I'm like, no, we're going to pay TV and the rest. Then the government came with a digital migration and everything. People came to learn. Actually, people came to learn, like brands can be killed or be made on social media. If you remember the CNN thing, all those, like they came to realize you need to occupy that space. So that's when like more influencers and everyone started getting the currency like they deserved or they earned. But like after it picked up, there was a quick trajectory with everyone calling themselves an influencer. Anyone who had like over 10,000, 20,000 followers on Twitter, some the same on Instagram. Yeah, so maybe it was a slow uptake, then just shot up.
Do social media influencers make enough money to meet their day-to-day needs? Can they depend on this market as their main source of income?
Now, as in anything that we do as humans, you start off, everyone is on the same level. Then slowly it starts emerging there's those ones who can do something better. Like we all played football as children, but there's those ones who played for clubs, national teams are where you can get. So in the same case, now there's more, can call them professional influencers who have curated an audience that allows them to earn top dollar. I can put it this way. The top tier, we can call it top tier, like on the higher, these are people who have a lot of followers and a lot of organic reach, and their their content is very well curated. We can just say in Kenya, like This Is S, Miss Mandy, Patricia Kihoro. Those ones, even almost put Jogosh there because of his YouTube. People who have identified the market and basically have their audience who are ready to basically they know what they do and they're up to it. Now, lower tier, like guys coming in, they actually do make money, like the, let's say, top tier. Depending on projects, I don't want to blow anyone's budget because everyone has a different price in what they value. The key thing with actual influencing is know your worth and your value. Because what happens nowadays, because there's enough influencers to pick, if I have two ladies who do fashion, they both have at least over 100,000 followers. What a company would do, budget, they'll approach the one they want, say like, hey, what do this? They send a quotation, let's even say 100,000. You guys say, let's sell. How about this one? She's not the one, but you tell like, yo, we have this and this. We call the other person B. Like, how much? Then this person quotes me about the same, 100,000, whatever. And then they may even say like, oh no, but so and so quoted us 80,000. Then B, who wanted the job, will quote maybe 60,000. And they didn't even know how much, whatever. So day-to-day lives, I know social media influencers who live off it. The key thing is planning and marketing yourself. So little tip here, most social media influencers, the ones you see like who travel, like they book clients or gigs for at least 6 months in advance. It's not like you wake up and like, oh, you're gonna fall. So the best ones not to cultivate a relationship with brand managers and PR agencies, so they know when they're doing budgets for them to be creative. But like little things here and there, some who have to keep a second job, like a proper job, but for the most part you can. The key thing is you gotta invest in your craft.
Since the emergence of this market, has it been a positive or negative impact on the society, especially the youth?
Like anything, you gotta take the good with the bad. The good is it's opened up a whole new, job opportunities. Like I mentioned earlier, you can actually go and learn in universities now. They have courses on social media management, basically understanding the tenements and everything of it. So there's social media managers, there's digital managers, digital creatives. It's opened up so much work. Like I know guys who did engineering or something else, like they found their passion in social media and digital, and works out very fine for them. So in terms of influence, I can say for the youth, is giving them a voice. Like Kenyans on Twitter are fondly called KOT. They always dismiss politicians, even the time when certain politician, Peter Kenneth, ran, when they telling him to go count his votes online because he was the most popular at the time. But what like that at least helps in political management, because this young person who cares just about drinking and everything is gonna care about politics as soon as they get older. So it's not a place to dismiss. You get that. The pitfalls of it, of course, is the popularity and the power that goes with having influence on your peers. Some misuse it. There's so-called like Hatchet, or actually keyboard warriors. I think that was the term that was coined. The guys who make money basically fighting organizations or politicians or anything. I know a few who basically who have a lot of followers, who will start tarnishing, and then they'll pick a company and go at it and like really create a bad rep, just so they can email them, tell them, hey, if you want me to stop, pay me this much and I'll start talking nicely about your company. So there's that hijacking, and of course there's, and I want to call it underage, you have young kids as young as 13 being on platforms where they're adults as old as 65 and trying to be adults and then fall into, it's just, yeah, it's a mess. Some of it, regulation will be needed sooner or later.
Thank you very much for that detailed analysis, Mr. Duncan. Food shortage in Kenya has become an issue that simply arises year in, year out. This prompted the agricultural sector to come up with various ways to try and curb food shortage in Kenya. One of the methods that was proposed, especially after there was a shortage of these basic food crops, was encouraging Kenyans to utilize their kitchen gardens where they could grow food in order to minimize dependency of these food crops from large-scale farmers. Some of these food crops Kenyans were encouraged to grow are cabbages, spinach, tomatoes, and kales. This method proved to be cheaper in the long run compared to buying these items at the market or in the supermarkets, hence being pocket-friendly and encouraging to Kenyans who would choose to pursue this method. You can join the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag #TheConnectiveRoom. Our correspondent Sylvia Cheruto has more on this.
Food shortage in Kenya has become a nuisance for a very long time. Following the recent cry of farmers due to the low food crop production, agriculturalists have tried to come up with solutions in order to cater for the high demand of food crop and the low supply of food crop in the country. Citizens were advised to adapt to farming methods that could be adopted if you have a kitchen garden. Over the recent past, food shortage has been one of the many problems Kenyans cannot afford to ignore. A human being has to eat, live, and survive. With this thought, some Kenyans have embraced the art of farming in their backyard. We speak to a Kenyan citizen who has embraced this act.
First of all, there's the benefit of spending less money on your own kitchen garden as opposed to buying your groceries from the store. It's you get better quality groceries because you're growing them yourself, so you have a say, or rather you know what you're growing. And some say it's therapeutic. If you cook something you've made with your own hands, you know, it might taste better to you even. So yeah, I'd say it's better to grow your own groceries.
This farming practice has proved to be pocket friendly and has also turned into a hobby for those who enjoy doing this practice. This happens to be the case for Daniel Peter.
You might opt for the bigger picture, that is having your own kitchen garden. For the longer period it might be cheaper as compared to going to the groceries daily. But if you are starting it on a startup, it's still cheaper going to the groceries to get your goods rather than harvesting them from a kitchen garden. And from a kitchen garden, it might be expensive also in the long run in terms of buying the seeds, nurturing them, having a seed bed, then we have the pesticide.
We also managed to get views of some of the residents who have embraced this practice of farming at their backyard.
To start up a kitchen garden is not cheap, it's actually very expensive. So when you start up, you inquire some costs, and then before it becomes a kitchen that will supply you with ingredients for your kitchen needs, it will take time. But when you buy from the grocer's place, it might look cheaper because you're buying like one item at a time, so it might look like 100 bob each, but at the long run you find that you will have spent more actually.
My name is Sylvia Cheruto, and thanks for watching CRTV. This is the Connective Room.
And now we are joined live by our analyst, Dr. Subiri Obogo. Welcome, Dr. Subiri.
Yeah, thank you.
Dr. Subiri, when people are encouraged to adapt kitchen gardens, does this contribute to one of the ways of curbing food shortage in Kenya?
I think it does in several ways. First, kitchen gardens supplement other sources of food production from other farms. But I think also we understand that food gardens can also encourage stewardship. One of the biggest challenges with the food security is actually food waste. Between 30 and 40% of the food we produce is actually wasted, either at the table or between production and processing. So one idea about kitchen gardens is that it helps people understand what it takes to grow food. And when people understand how to grow food in their kitchen gardens, it is less likely that they're going to waste it. So I think in a way it contributes a lot.
For one to have a successful kitchen garden, does one have to undergo some training when it comes to farming?
Yes, training is very, very important, because if you look at growing any crops, there are about 6 factors of production. 1 is require clean water. 2, the soil has to be right. I think 3, you require maybe manure or fertilizer. Sometimes you may require some way of controlling diseases or pests. You also require the right altitude, temperature, and rainfall. So it's important that farmers are trained on those aspects of production.
Is it cheaper to adapt kitchen gardens as compared to buying vegetables from the food vendors or the market?
I think it's more affordable in two ways. One of the ways is you reduce the cost of transportation. Because if I'm going to buy food from the market, that food has been transported from elsewhere, and that's a cost. There's also the cost of storage when you're buying food from the market. So, in other words, kitchen gardens reduce the cost overall because there's no transportation. I'm simply growing the food in my garden, and then it moves from the farm to the table. So that, in a way, it is quite affordable.
Thank you very much, Dr. Subiri Obogo, for the analysis on the future of food production at home. Up next is the mosquito trap invention. We'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
We are Blazers. We know we have to create our own path to success, no matter how hard it may be. This is the Blaze belief, because greatness requires internal toughness, grit. Blaze, join the movement.
They say that necessity is the mother of all inventions. For a number of years, people were relying on chemical sprays, lotions, and pills to stop bugs from pestering them in their own homes. In a bid to get rid of mosquitoes and bugs, two Germans came up with the invention of a device called Mosquitron that fights off these insects from ever causing you restless days and nights. This device is not only efficient, it is also environmental friendly, hence proving to be safe for you and your families too. Our correspondent Daisley Magwenju has more on this.
Mosquitron has an elegant design and you can have it in your office, living room, bedroom, bathroom and any other place you would like. You don't need to worry about changing or charging its batteries because you can simply run on power from your plug outlet, computer or power bank through a USB. People who use Mosquitron benefit from its portability, price, health benefit and ease of use. Mosquitron does not use chemicals to get rid of the problem, thus making it ecological. It is hygienic and easy to clean and can be used anywhere. Since it's compact and lightweight, there is also no need for special plugs or charge. You can simply use a regular USB plug. It also has an intelligent light switch that it turns on automatically when it's dusk and turns off when it's dawn.
In the tech world, I think mentors exist. There are mentors but more hubs where people who have ideas, people who think they have something to give to the tech world, they go to hubs to develop their skills so that they can be able to innovate. We have things like iHub, we have iLab, we have the Safaricom Academy where people are given opportunities to explore their interest in tech, come up with things. We see things like M-Pesa, that came from home. We have other big innovations that come from within our boundaries. So I think mentors are there, and locally we have enough mentorship and we have enough facilities that are growing, enough facilities that help grow the mentorship aspect of innovation.
My name is Daisley Magwenju and thanks for watching CR7 TV. This is the Connective Room.
And now we are joined live by our analyst, Professor Bitange Ndemo. Welcome, Professor Bitange Ndemo.
It's a pleasure.
Inventions require creativity to cater for a need. Do Kenyans show this potential by maybe the implementation of various inventions?
Everywhere in the world there exists innovation. Wherever there's a problem, there must be innovation. Because people are very creative at solving problems, and in Kenya we have many problems to solve. That's why we have a lot of young people trying to solve some of the social and economic problems.
Do innovators have access to funds so as to make the visions of their inventions a reality?
It's always said that a good idea never misses money. There is money locally, though not very organized, but if you have a very convincing idea, there are resources, there are a couple of venture capital that are coming up locally
raise also venture capital from the international scene that help young people.
Do we have mentors in Kenya to guide children from a young age to cultivate their creativity and inventions to becoming a reality?
There are mentors, but you must seek. As the Bible says, you ask and you will be helped. So young people should know that they can approach. Personally, I help so many young people with their innovations when they begin. And I know several other faculty at the university are involved in the same. And even other universities, I think they are working towards the same.
Thank you, Professor Bitangendemo, for that detailed analysis.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. There has been a gradual change in normal weather patterns to the extent that it has become unpredictable, unlike in the recent years. Farmers knew when the planting season would be, people would be prepared for the hot and dry times too. In America, the unpredictable weather patterns hit them hard. This just goes to show the evident effects of global warming on our planet, Earth. The polar vortex hit Americans really hard. Our correspondent Nick Osoro has more for you.
The polar vortex is found on the North Pole, just as its name suggests. This is a band of strong winds high up in the atmosphere that keeps bitterly cold air locked around the Arctic region. The last time this phenomenon occurred was in 2014. The vortex can become distorted and move further south than normal. This brings the coldest conditions in Midwest US. In temperatures close to 15 or 30 degrees, if you throw water into the air, it will freeze before it hits the ground. Some of the affected cities were Chicago, Washington DC, Boston, Louisville, New York, Atlanta, and Dallas. Some of the effects of the polar vortex was frozen people in the streets, frost bites, difficulty in breathing, cancellation of flights, school and work, and also dead stink bugs.
And the quote of the day is, "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." This quote is by Mother Teresa. That's all we had for you on this episode. Thanks for watching The Connective Room. Kindly like, share, and subscribe so that you can stay updated when the next episode is uploaded. Cheers!